hematology, and oncology. We call this award the Relentless for a Cure Award.
I think some of that wine has left the wall of wine early. If we can get your attention, because we want to introduce to you these doctors and the Relentless for a Cure Award, because the doctor honored is one who personifies the mission of LLS and the more serious side for the reason that we're all here tonight. These doctors every year are nominated by patients and colleagues and selected by a committee of their peers. And we have with us Dr. Michael Veneris to take the stage to present this year's award. Dr. Veneris is a member of the Relentless for a Cure Selection Committee, as well as a member of the Minnesota Chapter's Board of Trustees. So to give the award tonight, Dr. Veneris. Doctor?
So the 2009 Relentless for a Cure Award will be presented to Dr. Greipp. This award is given to the outstanding medical professional in Minnesota whose research, diagnosis, and treatment has contributed to the improvement in the quality of life of patients and their families. It has also led to the advances in the field of blood and marrow diseases. Dr. Greipp's distinguished career began at the University of Alabama. He spent 2 years at the National Institutes of Health before coming to the Midwest and joining the staff at the Mayo Clinic. During that time, Dr. Greipp became courageous about what caused one's patient's myeloma cells to grow when another one would not. As a result, he and his team developed a BRDU plasma cell labeling index, which has become a very valuable tool for the diagnosis and the management of patients with myeloma. He and his team developed the Mayo Clinic's myeloma cell bank, which is now one of the largest in the world. Physicians around the world use this cell bank as a resource to study the molecular markers, chromosomal abnormalities, and signaling pathways that cause myeloma cells to grow, to try and understand the differences between patients' diseases. During his 34 years at Mayo, Dr. Greipp has seen the face of myeloma change immensely. He remembers the old days when we were lucky to have 1 or 2 clinical trials open. Today, there are more than 25 clinical trials for patients with myeloma or myeloma-like diseases here at the Mayo Clinic. Dr. Greipp is positive about the future of myeloma research and has a sense that a breakthrough may be imminent. As part of the committee that selected Dr. Greipp, I have to say that I'm a pediatrician and a pediatric bone marrow transplant doctor, so myeloma, which occurs in the 5th to 7th decade of life, is not something that I'm familiar with. However, when I received the listing of people who were nominated and listing Dr. Greipp's resume, it was really quite impressive. He's clearly made inroads in this area, which is an incredibly hard disease to treat and to manage. He's published over 250 papers in major scientific journals, including Blood, Cancer Research, Leukemia, Cancer, Journal of Clinical Oncology, Cancer Cell, Lancet, and the New England Journal of Medicine. He's authored 28 book chapters. He was the head of hematology at the Mayo Clinic. He's had 35 international invited lectures, 46 visiting professorships where he's taught about myeloma, and currently he is either the principal investigator or the co-investigator of 15 grants from the National Institutes of Health and the National Cancer Institute. This is an amazing feat, considering that the funding rate at the NIH at this point is probably about 15%. In his spare time, Dr. Greipp enjoys time with his wife, Maureen, who credits for allowing him to do things that he could have never done himself. A rower in high school, Dr. Greipp continues to give back to the sport, and he coaches a group of rowers in Rochester. In fact, 3 of the students he coaches are now competing at the Nationals this very weekend. I have to say that I've never met Dr. Greipp until a couple minutes ago, and maybe naively, I looked at him with his seniority and his gray hair, and I said, boy, if you look back on your career, it must have been a good ride. And he said, I can't quit now. And in fact, I think That's why he is the award recipient for Relentless for a Cure. Thank you much.
I'm speechless. Mike, thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. And I want to take a moment, if you don't mind, to thank some special people who I think really personify the spirit of the LLS. First of all, Natalie Taylor, their mom Jay. Natalie has volunteered as an advocate for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. She got me to the light tonight talk over Lake Phelan a few years ago, and she's been relentless. Natalie, would you stand up with your mom? Thank you so much. Another person I think who really personifies the pursuit of a cure for myeloma, and the other group of people are the countless young investigators coming up. And I'm fortunate enough that one of them, who's working with me now, asked me, could he come when he found out I was doing this work, could he come to the dinner? I said, sure. And Sumit Madan is here with his wife, Teresa, right? We stand up. Sumit is a Kurtz research fellow in myeloma at Mayo, and we're hoping for wonderful things from his laboratory, working with many of my colleagues there. And lastly, I would like to thank my wife, Maureen. You would stand up, please, Maureen, be recognized. We have fundraisers for the rowing club. I always ask her to take a bow too. We named the boat after her. Maybe we can name the award after you. This is a wonderful award. The comment you made about the probably not being willing to give up quite yet, I think is appropriate. I noticed that as I look in the mirror, my hair gets a little grayer. Part of the reason I'm regarded as relentless for a cure is that I've been around so long that I'm still sticking with it. I could make a few more comments, but I think my time has come. I thank you very, very much for this honor, and I'll treasure it forever. Thank you.